So let's get into it, right? What is compression? Why do we use it? First, the best way to understand that is to first understand what are audio dynamics. Bear with me if you already know this stuff. What are dynamics? Dynamics are changes in loudness over time. So I've drawn this really crude waveform. Again, this kind of goes into the theme of I'm trying to simplify everything. You can go onto YouTube and find much more detailed information using real waveforms as opposed to my PowerPoint drawn waveforms. But I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. So here's my little drawn waveform. You can see over time it changes in loudness. That change is what we call dynamics. And sometimes we have a dynamic range that can tend to be too much. And you can experience this on your own when you're trying to mix your tracks and you find that you're trying to, hear one particular track, maybe it's a vocal track, and it's a little bit too soft in the mix. And then you go and you turn the fader up, and then the loudest parts are too loud. Even though you can hear the softer part now, other parts become too loud. So then you turn it down so that the loud parts aren't loud anymore, and then they fit, but then the softer parts are too soft, and you can never quite seem to get it right. That's a good indicator that you need compression, or even worse, that you might need volume automation or gain automation, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm just talking about compression right now. So compression is basically when you're turning that fader, you're kind of acting as a compressor when you're adjusting that fader to try to get the volume right. So a compressor can do that job for you. What it does is it reduces that dynamic change. So you can see I've got this new line, which is the green line, which represents a signal that is getting compressed. And I'm going to do a cute little simplified animation here that shows you what it looks like. Like you're actually squashing that signal down. So this is the compressed signal. That's what it looks like when it gets compressed. It's squashed down. So now you're looking at it and you're probably saying, well, yeah, it's compressed and now everything is too quiet. So what you can do after you apply compression is you apply something called makeup gain, and makeup gain will increase the volume of the compressed signal. And what you end up with is a signal that looks like this. So your green compressed signal is now just as loud. So the loudest parts of your green compressed signal is just as loud as the loudest parts of the original signal, but now all those quiet parts that you couldn't hear before are also loud. So on average, your signal is louder, even though it doesn't sound like it's louder. It just sounds clearer, and that's what compression does. In my next video, I will talk about the two most important knobs on the compressor, which is the threshold and the ratio knob, and I'll explain what they are and how they're used.